What's happening, everybody? Your digital disciple, Brian Cody, coming back at you with another week of backyard blessings. Got the smoker rolling, man. So I thought I'd come out here and talk to y'all for a second. And here's what I want to talk to you guys about, especially during this holiday seasons and times like this. Look, I spent some time with some guys in these last couple of weeks that have really been struggling, man. And what they've been struggling with, believe it or not, are things that can all be found on your local street corner. They're legal. That's the issue these guys have with them. They're like, yeah, I like to drink, but there's nothing wrong with drinking. I mean, they sell it at every grocery store. You can go down to the liquor store and buy it. There's even people nowadays, you know, hey man, I mean, you can buy vapes now on every single corner, and I mean, it's legal. So, I mean, am I really doing anything wrong? And I immediately thought of this, man. I thought of 1 Corinthians 6:12, because in 1 Corinthians, Paul is talking to the Corinthians who had a lot of things available to them, but they weren't all good for them, and they were making bad choices. And here's what 1 Corinthians 6:12 says. It says this: all things are lawful for me, but not all things are helpful. All things are lawful for me, but I will not be dominated by anything. See, there's power in that, because a lot of the things that are really killing people nowadays are things that are legal. They're available, but I'm here to tell you, just because something's available doesn't mean it's okay for you or for me. If you struggle with something, the fact that you can go buy it down on the street corner doesn't take your struggles away. It actually adds to the struggle, because now it's everywhere. You're like, yeah, but I mean, I go into the convenience store and it's sitting right there. And I just, you know, in a moment of weakness, I grab it. And then that thing leads to the next thing and the next thing. So just because it's available doesn't mean that you should do it, because you know what you struggle with. So that's what we're going to be talking about, is accountability. You have to be accountable for the choices that you make. And just because the world makes things available does not mean it's okay to choose them. So how do we decide? That's the real question. Well, how do I decide, man, if it's a problem or it's just something that I do? Well, I've got 3 ways, because there's probably 10 different ways, but I'm going to give y'all 3 ways how you can tell if something that is available is okay for you. And here's the first way. When you do that thing, whether it be drinking, whether it be vaping, whether it be, believe it or not, I know this is crazy, pornography is legal. I mean, if you're over a certain age, which is ridiculous because it's all over the internet and all over your cell phones and all over these things, but there are guys that do it and they justify it to themselves and to their wives and to their friends. But yeah, dude, I'm a grown man, buddy. It's legal. I'm a grown woman. Believe it or not, there's women that are addicted to it too. And it's legal. So am I really doing anything wrong? Yes, you know you are. So questions 3, how do I know if this is a problem or if it's a pastime? Well, here's what I'm going to tell you. First question: when you do these things, would you do them in front of your wife? Would you do them in front of your kids? Would you do them in front of your God? Because he's watching. See, this is specifically for Christian people, because you are setting examples whether you like it or not. You are a representative of the Lord, whether you like it or not. It's just the truth. It's the way it is. That's how it goes, and you're gonna have to deal with it. So when you do these things, would you do them in front of your kids, your wife, your friends, your God? Second, when you do them, does it cause arguments between you and your wife? Does it cause arguments between you and your friends? Do you find yourself getting violent when you do this? Do you find yourself separating yourself or sneaking around and doing it away from people? And then when you come around them, does it cause issues? If the thing you're doing is causing issues with your family, with your job, with your friends, with your God, then it's wrong and you need to stop doing it. Stop justifying it. Well, yeah, man, but I mean, I can go get it. So, and this is the most important one. The third one I think is the most important one. And this is what I ask myself a lot about the stuff I do. Does it glorify God? Is it glorifying to the Lord? Does it bring glory to the Lord when you do what you do? I mean, we got to be real. If we're going to ask these questions, we got to give real answers. And you know what glorifies the God and what doesn't. When you're drinking, do you have a drink, or does your drink have you? Can you stop? Or do you go until you drop? See, these are the things we have to ask ourselves, and you know the answers. Man, stop justifying your bad habits just because they're available. Be accountable. All things. It says this later on in Corinthians, in 1 Corinthians 10:31, it says this, whether you eat or drink, or whatever you do, do all to the glory of the Lord. See, that covers everything, because we only focus on the first part of that. Whether you eat or drink, whether I'm eating or drinking. And by the way, food can be one of those things that I'm talking about. Do you use food as a painkiller? When you get sad, do you eat? When you get happy, do you eat? If this is something that's causing issues, it's a problem and you need to stop it. Stop justifying it and stop doing it. Do all things to the glory of the Lord. If you set your mind to that, if you really set your mind to, does this glorify the Lord? That'll answer every single question. Look, you are strong enough to stop doing it, because when you put that thing down, whatever that thing is, don't just leave yourself empty. Fill yourself with the Word. And once again, in 1 Corinthians 6:3-19, it says, do you not know that your body is not yours? It's a temple of the Lord. So treat it that way. It's just that simple. If you're a Christian, you have given your whole self over to the Lord. Now treat yourself that way. Don't go around polluting this temple. Man, feed it the Word, feed it the bread of life, and drink the water of life. Drink from the well, the living well of Jesus, and you'll never have to worry about these things. So that's my prayer for everybody. And here's what I'm going to leave you with. Whether you eat or drink, or whatever you do all to the glory of the Lord. In Jesus' mighty name, amen.